Hi, my name is Judy Bornay, and I'm the Executive Director of the Office of Experiential Learning. I'm also a registered nurse, and I'm part of the Faculty of Nursing at the University of Windsor. So it's actually physical distancing that's important, and part of that is to try and prevent the spread of COVID. So we know from studies that date way back to the 1930s that respiratory droplets can travel a significant distance, close to 6 feet, and that's where that sort of 6 feet rule came in. More recently with COVID, we know that it's not just through respiratory, but also through aerosol particles. So these are sort of small, tiny viral particles that can spread, and those can travel significant distances. And so the idea is, if we're further away from the person, it's harder for those viral particles to reach us. Early on, we thought that it was only to help prevent us from spreading the virus to others, but some more recent studies are suggesting that it may actually prevent us from getting the virus as well. And so the idea being that we know that the spread of the coronavirus now, that people can have shedding of the virus 3 days before they're even symptomatic. And in some cases, we know people show no symptoms whatsoever. And so they can be spreading the virus unknowingly because they don't know that they have it. And so if you wear a mask, it's actually going to prevent you from spreading as much of the virus outward because some of it will be trapped in the mask. Likewise, if you're the person who's wearing the mask, it can prevent the spread of the virus from getting into the mask. And so it's about, us being a family in it together, being a team, and me protecting you, but you also protecting me. There can be particles that come out of your mask or that can come into your mask, particularly those very tiny aerosol particles. And so trying to keep your distance is that added step that we know will provide protection. Some of the latest research on how far aerosol particles can go is that they may go further than 6 feet when somebody talks, breathes, coughs, sings. And they've measured the amount of particles that can be spread. And so if there are two people close by each other, the risk of the person who is unaffected getting those viral particles can increase. But if I spread that distance a little further, it's going to reduce even further the amount of viral load that may actually come in contact with that person, again reducing the chance of getting it. As humans, we tend to touch our face a lot. Oh goodness, I forgot something, or showing emotions. And this isn't actually that common in other animal models. It's really in other animal species, it is common in humans. And so every time you touch your face, there is a chance, particularly if you haven't practiced good hygiene and you have the virus on you, that you might touch your eyes, nose, or mouth, which could then cause you to become infected with the virus. And so if you have your mask on, one, it actually can help prevent you from touching your mouth and nose. But if you do have your mask on and you still touch your eyes, or you touch the side of your face, or you touch your mask, there is a chance that the more that you touch your face and different places, that you can be exposing your mucous membranes, eyes, nose, and mouth, to the virus. So along with wearing that face mask, one of the things that's important is that proper hand hygiene, so washing our hands, so that if by some chance you do touch your face, rub your eye, you're not going to have any viral particles that you might have picked up on your hands and then spread them. The first thing you need to do is self-isolate. We also want to make sure that you call and make an appointment to be tested. So testing at the COVID-19 assessment center is only by appointment, and that you also let your close contacts know so that they can also self-isolate. And by self-isolating, that means also staying away from others in your home if you can, until you have that appointment, and then you would proceed down to the assessment center, and they will then swab you, at which point then we ask that you return home and self-isolate until you receive those results. So it's really important that you self-isolate, you let any close contacts know so that they can also self-isolate and keep them safe. If you're unsure whether or not the symptoms that you're experiencing are COVID, there is an online self-assessment tool that we can put the link up on the screen. That is through the Windsor-Essex County Health Unit that you can do to try and do a self-assessment. And then you can also call your healthcare provider.